All rise. The Honorable Judge Lawrence Adams presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, the court will now come to order. Prosecution may now present their rebuttal or give their closing statement.
Your Honor, at this time, the people call Gwen Harris to the stand.
You may proceed.
Has Autumn Covington ever spent the summer at your home with your daughter, Kate?
Yes, up until 2 years ago, she would often spend a lot of time at our home.
Did Autumn Covington spend any time at your home last summer?
No, absolutely not. Kate was away for the whole summer, and I was home during the time where we were remodeling. So Autumn Covington was not at our house even once last summer.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Blaine?
I have no questions at this time, Your Honor.
You may step down.
At this time, the people recall Officer Underwood to the stand.
You may proceed.
Officer Underwood, have you ever seen this jewelry case before?
Yes. Amy Bannister asked me to accompany her to Maryling Academy to interview Autumn Covington's classmates, after which we had the dorm parent open up Miss Covington's room. During the search, I noticed a paper bag on the top shelf in the closet. I opened it and found a Gatsby jewelry case inside.
Objection, Your Honor. This evidence was illegally seized.
Counselors, please approach the bench. What's your legal response?
The defendant had no legitimate expectation of privacy for a room she no longer occupied, as ruled by Raucus v. Illinois. Therefore, the jewelry case should be admitted.
Objection overruled. You may proceed, Counselor.
Officer Underwood, please read the inscription on the bottom of the jewelry case.
Yes, it said, to Chelsea with love. Happy birthday.
Officer Underwood, can you authenticate this document?
Yes, that is an official juvenile incarceration record for Autumn Covington.
According to this document, where was Autumn Covington last summer?
Autumn Covington served 3 months in juvenile hall for misdemeanor, her third shoplifting violation from last June 1st to August 31st.
Objection, improper character evidence.
Counselors, I'd like to see you at sidebar. What's your legal response?
Your Honor, this official document is in direct contradiction to the defendant's testimony regarding her whereabouts last summer and should therefore be admitted under the evidence code. She could not have been working and earning money to buy a tracker as she has claimed since she was serving time in juvenile hall all summer.
Mr. Blaine, your objection is overruled. The document may be admitted.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Blaine?
I have no questions at this time, Your Honor.
You may step down.
The defendant, Autumn Covington, is charged with the crime of grand theft. You have seen evidence that Autumn Covington forged a permission note which allowed her to be off campus the weekend of the theft. This evidence points to the defendant's opportunity to commit this crime. You have seen evidence that Miss Covington paid $7,000 to purchase a 1992 geo-tracker just 2 days after the Gatsby diamonds were stolen. The defense failed to provide a verifiable justification for her possession of such a large sum of money at that time. You have heard the testimony of Rita Connors, an eyewitness, who on October 19th saw the defendant drive down her street, Blossom Drive, in Robert Stein's stolen vehicle. Shortly thereafter, the witness saw Miss Covington walk back down that very same Blossom Drive in the opposite direction. It was at the end of Blossom Drive that the abandoned vehicle was discovered later. You have seen evidence supporting the fact the defendant had Robert Stein's stolen camera in her possession on October 22nd when she was pulled over for a traffic violation. You have seen evidence that the defendant was not, as she stated, working to save money for a car, but instead spent her summer in juvenile hall. This evidence calls the defendant's entire testimony into question. Ladies and gentlemen, after you have carefully examined the evidence, you will find Autumn Covington guilty as charged.
Mr. Blaine?
The people have not shown that Autumn Covington was the person who committed this crime. Miss Covington, as I mentioned earlier, was a dedicated, hard-working student at the Mayerling Academy, and her work habits were very much the same outside the classroom, which is why she was able to earn enough money and purchase a geo-tracker, even though this prosecutor would have you believe otherwise. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm confident that after proper review, you'll be convinced that the evidence presented by the people does not prove beyond a reasonable doubt that my client committed the crime of grand theft.
At this time, the jury may retire to deliberate. Court is adjourned until it returns with its decision.
I like the line of questioning on some of those witnesses. The prosecutor got right to the point, and he wasn't thrown off at all by Blaine's objections.
The prosecution really held my interest. I didn't look at my watch once.
I liked watching the prosecution ram those legal citations down the defense's throat.
I haven't seen this many tests since grade school, but I'll tell you, it really did help support its case.
All the prosecution's evidence looked good to me.
I haven't seen enough evidence that links the defendant to the crime.
It wasn't made clear to me that each aspect of the crime took place, according to the legal definition. I was glad to see that the prosecutor didn't let the defense attorney get away with putting words into the witnesses' mouths.
Hey, I just got word the jury reached a verdict, so why don't we go back to the courtroom and see if you pushed all the right buttons.
Ladies and gentlemen, a verdict has been reached. Will the defendant please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, the jury has found the defendant, Autumn Covington, guilty of the charge of grand theft.